Hi, it's Leslie, Sister Wives, and let's just jump right in and start with this little nugget that Janelle drops in a conversation with Christine. Shocking, yet not shocking.
Like you're over like your marriage with him right now. Yeah.
Well, thank God, because shouldn't she be? I mean, at this point, yes, you should be over this marriage. Yes, it's time to hit the road, Janelle. But even more surprising than that Janelle is finally over this marriage with Kody, is this.
So you still believe like plural marriage would be something that you believe in and would want to live and everything? I definitely would be open to it.
Even with all the stuff you've realized about this polygamist situation that is so dysfunctional, you're willing to jump back into that chaos again? Janelle, you really need to think this over. And the funny thing is I don't think anybody would want her because your only value is your breeding years. That's when you can get into that situation. You're of no use to just come and say, yeah, I'm just here. I can't have any kids for you. I'm just here as another wife, as another house to visit. No. Actually, another trailer to visit because Janelle doesn't have a house. Yeah, she's not even bringing anything financial into that future polygamous situation. So really, there's no worth in her. No offense, Janelle. And let's just jump back into the ongoing saga that, yes, Kody has still not seen his kids. And I believe it's almost like he hasn't reached out to Savannah, which is Janelle's daughter. And I believe he's doing this because he feels like the wives will also be punished if he does this. Because who are we kidding? Half of these kids are not at home that he's not reaching out to. So he could absolutely do that. And I believe he's doing this because he's thinking it's hurting the wives more than the kids. So that is just really evil. Evil. He will sacrifice his kids to hurt his wives a little more, soon to be ex-wives.
And I'm in a place where I've been separated from my children because they kicked me out of my home or the space that I had with those children. I haven't had the emotional fortitude to be able to reach out, not even knowing what to do or say. And the phone goes both ways. The kids can always call me.
He doesn't have the emotional fortitude. Cry me a river, Kody. You find whatever you have to find to reach out to your kids. Those are your children. I can't even.
I've given. And now I'm sitting here going, I've given too much. And I don't have more of this to give. This is so dysfunctional.
Nothing left to give? You give until. When your kids are involved, you give until. I do not get this. This makes no sense to me. He is obviously not a mom. Anyway, on to the others. They're all still reeling over the departure of Christine and, Janelle on the bubble, if you will, on the way out. But Robin and Mary meet up, of course, outside, because we don't go inside anymore of the houses. They meet up outside and they kind of commiserate, and Robin's just at a loss. She doesn't understand how her whole family just like blew up in a couple of episodes. But basically they had a tit for tat saying about how they both felt neglected and felt that Kody wasn't spending enough time with them. Robin, I think you protest too much. I mean, she is really trying to sell this because I think slowly but surely she's maybe realizing, gosh, I might actually be the reason that this whole thing fell apart. I mean, not totally her fault, but it seemed like it was a well-oiled, crappy machine before she came in because Kody spent equal time because of the fact that he had no loyalty. He was not into any of these wives. So it was very easy to flip around the different houses because there was no house that he wanted to be more than the other because he didn't like any of them until Robin came in. And then, of course, he wanted to be with her. Kody's also trying to sing the same narrative saying, he didn't have favorites. It's that Robin gave him an office. So he might have been over there, but he really wasn't with Robin. But you know what? If Robin can just walk out and walk into the office and go, hey, Kody, want to go to lunch? You're spending time with Robin. So we're not buying that one either, Kody. And I'm just going to digress a little bit with this one. Mary says, it's not really over with them because they've never had the conversation that it's over. But I feel like they've had this conversation so many times. The one that comes to mind, comment if you remember this. They're in the car and then they're like sitting there and Mary's going like, I'm still waiting for you to come. You don't know if you just kissed me, what that would do to me and all this kind of stuff. And Kody going, but I ain't coming. And she goes, I know that. It doesn't get clearer than that. It's over. If he's not making a pit stop at your house at least once a month, it's over. This is a funny one to me, is Mary's able to move her business back to Utah, southern Utah, and kind of spend a lot more time there. And she doesn't have any worries about being released from the family. Yet, here's Janelle's take on that.
In plural marriage, sometimes when a husband and a wife no longer get along, because we're not really keen on divorce. It takes a lot to get we call it a release. So it's not like I'm going to get a release overnight.
No, it doesn't, Janelle. Just pick up and move. What are they going to do? You know, I don't know. She could live back in Utah, if you ask me. I give her permission. And in conclusion, these were two of my most favorite clips that I have to interject here. But before I get to those, my two favorites, well, from this little episode, if you're at all like this, please like the video and subscribe if you want to hear this, you know, because I cover it every week. I have such a full life that this is what I'm doing. But anyway, I do have a full life. Anyway, please subscribe. And I just love this little insight from Robin.
There's so many times where Christy and I have had so much fun, and I feel like we really did have the potential of just having a great relationship. And I just never understood why we couldn't.
So Robin is perplexed to why her and Christine couldn't have a good relationship. I'm here to clue you in, Robin. Basically, it's because you're sleeping with her husband and he prefers you. That's it. That's why you don't have a good relationship. I know it's the obvious, or maybe it's not obvious to you, but it's obvious to me. You know what? If you just weren't sleeping with her husband and if he didn't enjoy it so much, you could maybe have a good relationship. But, you know, because of that little snag, yeah, not going to happen. Not going to happen. And Robin, of course, is still distraught. We leave her yet in this episode still crying. I mean, she's always crying, sobbing, or just finished crying, you know, whatever. But anyway, she is just cannot understand how her whole little family blew up in a matter of a few episodes. And all righteous Robin gives this little 2 cents.
I want answers. I want to understand. I want to get it. But unless there's a deal breaker going on, like a real one, you can still figure that out. Like you go to counseling and you still try to figure that out.
How insightful, Robin. But I just want to let you know that, you know what, you're not in that relationship, and not to point out whatever, but why didn't you work it out with your ex-husband? You know, you should have went to therapy and you should still be there. Was there a deal breaker? You could still be with that person. That was the father of your kids, the biological father. Why aren't you still there? You know what? It's because it's nobody's place to tell you when you're done. Just like it's not your place to tell Christine she's not done. And she's done. So there you go. But, you know, no, Robin. Anyway, this was a fun one this week. Can't wait to next week, and as Janelle kind of solidifies her exit from the family. Anyway, follow it every week. Please subscribe and help my little channel, or hit like on the video, and I will see you next week. Bye.